Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's official prices. This video is sponsored by the Game Bunker. More on that later. Alright, so we got a bunch of new stuff coming out this week. We got some of the individual products coming out for the Horus Heresy, coming from the Saturnine box set. Let's take a look at these prices and talk about a little bit of the craziness. So first off, we have the Legion Astartes Saturnine Praetor. So this is the individual character, the Praetor in the Saturnine armor from the box set. He's coming in at $52 USD or $63 Canadian. And he is a pretty chunky model. He's got some optional build assemblies, really nice aesthetic. So not surprised to see him at 52 bucks. Alright, then next we have the Saturnine Terminator Squad. So you do get 6 of these Saturnine Terminators in the box set for Saturnine, which was recently released. But here in this box set, you're only going to get 4. And from what I understand in the actual game, you can either take them in squads of 3 or 6. So very strange to see them boxed up in squads of 4, as you'll essentially have one extra Terminator, or you'll have to buy like multiple box sets of these to get a full squad of 6. So realistically, a very interesting and like very unorthodox decision from Games Workshop to do this. But these Terminators, for 4 of them, according to this article and the pictures, is going to be $80 USD or $95 Canadian. So essentially you're paying an $80 price tag, and then you're getting an extra Terminator, or you can buy multiple box sets of these to get a full 6-man Terminator squad, and then you're still going to have extra Terminators. So in all reality, to not have extra Terminators that you're not using, you're going to need to pick up 3 boxes of these Saturnine Terminators. That would give you 12 Terminators or 2 full 6-man squads, and that would cost you a total of $240. So realistically, not a fan of how Games Workshop has done this. $80 USD for 4 Terminators or $95 Canadian. You should have got 6 of them in a box set. If Games Workshop needed to charge a little more than 80 bucks, they should have done that. Or realistically, they should have figured out a way to put 3 of these in a box set and sold them in increments that corresponded with the actual squad size for a little bit cheaper of a price. I think realistically, 65 bucks for 3 is still a little bit pricey, but they are pretty thick. But in my opinion, it should have been all 6 of them for 80 bucks. Alright, and then next we have the Saturnine Siege Dreadnought, the Chiron configuration. So this is the one that comes in the box set. And he is priced at $112 USD or $135 Canadian. So again, big chunky model, awesome sculpt, definitely a big fan of this, but $112 is definitely pricey. And just to kind of jump ahead here, there are multiple configurations of this Dreadnought, and Games Workshop is selling the weapons packs for $30 USD or $35 Canadian. So realistically, if you want to pick up one of these Dreadnoughts and then you want to have both weapon options, if you magnetize them, it's going to be $142, which is just absolutely ridiculous for a single Dreadnought. There is no reason that at this $112 price point, you shouldn't get both of your weapon options. So again, just a big miss on Games Workshop's part, and definitely I think this is going to contribute to Horus Heresy just not doing that well overall. And next we have the Saturnine Dreadnought, the Ophion configuration. And again, this one is coming in at $112 USD or $135 Canadian. So same chassis, just with a different weapon sprue. Same arguments though. You should get all of the weapons included, and it should be at that $112 price point. And then moving over to the Saturnine Siege Dreadnought weapons. So like we discussed, these are the 2 different weapon packs, the Chiron weapon pack and the Ophion weapon pack. $30 USD or $35 Canadian for each of these weapons packs. And you can see what's here. I mean, it's one sprue basically of weapons. And I think for that $112 price point on either one of these Dreadnoughts, you should just get all the weapons. Big miss on Games Workshop's part. They are clearly nickel and diming the customers for the Horus Heresy with all of the different upgrade sprues, with the strange number of models in the Terminator squads. And again, I think the community is going to see this. They're going to get mad about it. And probably it's going to cause a lot of people not to buy the models, not to play the game, and overall affect just how well Horus Heresy does. Now a quick word from today's sponsor, Game Bunker. Game Bunker carries a full range of Games Workshop products, including miniatures, terrain, paint, tools, and more. Game Bunker offers 15% off MSRP for most Games Workshop products with the discount code WHMS. Receive free shipping in the continental United States on orders over $145. Online orders ship out within 24 hours. Game Bunker is a veteran-owned business. Use affiliate link below, enter discount code WHMS to save 15% on most items at checkout. For fast, friendly service with a discount on your favorite tabletop wargaming purchases, visit GameBunker.net and let them know that Warhammer Man sent you. And next we have the Legion Astartes Centurion with Power Maul. So plastics box set. This is the other Centurion from the box set that came with Saturnine. $38 USD or $48 Canadian. No big surprises here. Nice looking model. Very, very well sculpted. Right in line with other prices from GW. No complaints here. And next we have the Mark II Veteran Squad with Disintegrators. So you're going to get 10 models in this box set. They're going to come with the Disintegrator upgrade frame for 10 models, and that is $60 USD or $75 Canadian. So again, just another interesting choice by Games Workshop to basically nickel and dime Horus Heresy players. So you can pick up a 20-man squad of the Mark II Marines, and that's somewhere around like 85 bucks. Or you can get half as many models with the upgrade frame for 60 bucks. Much more in line with like your 40k kits and probably where like the model should be in an already expensive game. And then moving on from there, we have the Horus Heresy Disintegrator upgrade set. So $30 for this set or $35 Canadian. You're going to get enough bits in this box set to upgrade 20 Marines. I do kind of like that this upgrade set is available separately because you can essentially pick up one of these box sets and then upgrade like 2 of the 10-man squads that came inside of the Saturnine box set into Disintegrator units. So I like that they're offering these upgrade sets separately as you can like combine them with some of your existing Marines. And I do think $30 price point for like 20 Marines being upgraded with a bunch of extra bits is probably a little more reasonable than some of the other stuff. And next we have the Araknae Quad Accelerator platform. So once again, this was in the Saturnine box and it is $65 USD or $80 Canadian. And honestly, I think this is probably the thing that surprised me the most out of the box set. It is much larger than it appears in the pictures. It is actually a really nice kit with fully articulating legs. The turret itself can swivel. Very, very cool. 65 bucks, definitely fair. And next we have the return of the Legion Astartes drop pod. So this is the old drop pod from 40k. Being moved over to Horus Heresy exclusively, and this drop pod is going to be coming in at $58 USD or $67.50 Canadian. I do think it's awesome that you'll still have access to the old drop pod for the people out there that like these. Maybe you have a foam case that is specifically cut out for this drop pod. So very nice to see that it will be continued in production or at least available. And next we have the Age of Darkness markers and tokens. So $25 USD or $30 Canadian for the markers and tokens. And next we have the Age of Darkness dice set, so $45 USD or $55 Canadian. So you guys know, obviously the dice boycott has been going on for years. I basically decided that Games Workshop just charges too much for its dice, and I went from buying almost every set of dice to buying no dice. And this is a perfect example. $45 for these dice is just absolutely ridiculous. They are definitely cool, but at 45 bucks, that is a no for me. And next we have White Dwarf 515. So this is coming in at $12 USD or $15 Canadian. So for a while now, I have noticed that Games Workshop has started printing $12 on the White Dwarf. The price has been $11, but it has said $12 on the actual White Dwarf itself. And finally, Games Workshop has officially pulled the trigger. It is now $12 for a White Dwarf. White Dwarf is overall cool, but it used to be a lot better. It used to be a lot cheaper. And realistically, I think the extra dollar that they're charging probably not going to make a difference whether or not you pick up a White Dwarf, but it's definitely not going to help this magazine do any better going forward. And realistically, at 12 bucks for a White Dwarf, I think it's time to add White Dwarf to the boycott list. So as of now, with White Dwarf 515, the White Dwarf boycott has officially started. And then moving on from there, we have the End in the Death Volume 3 in paperback, and this is going to be coming in at $16 USD or $17 Canadian. And then last but not least, we have the Siege of Terra. Here is Where We'll End map. And this is a nice map right here, coming in at $65 USD or $80 Canadian. So if anybody out there is after the cool little map, this is a limited item, direct only. And these are actually pretty nice quality and overall like pretty cool aesthetics. So no surprises here at 65 bucks. So that is it for this week's pre-order prices. I gotta say that Horus Heresy has basically been a disaster. The launch has come out and been plagued with issues. It was massively overproduced. There were huge discounts being offered, specifically in the UK on launch day. And then on top of that, tons of boxes have been showing up damaged. People have been complaining about the rules, which I kind of write off because whenever there's a new edition, people complain about the rules. Overall, the actual box set is pretty nice. It's got a ton of awesome new models in it. But now with the individual release of the models from the box set and the prices associated with them, some of the ways these are packaged up, like 4 Terminators in a box set with an $80 price tag. The Dreadnought coming out at $112 with a $30 upgrade set just to be able to switch between the different options. I really think that this is a disastrous launch of Horus Heresy, and I think people are going to see this, people are going to hear all the negative feedback, and overall it's going to affect the game, the amount of people that get involved in it, the way that it catches on in the community. This is going to directly affect how many people play the game, and then the sales. And I think overall this is going to reflect poorly on Horus Heresy, and we're probably going to see less and less people getting excited about this and playing the game. I think overall the new edition will help Horus Heresy, but I think the way this has been rolled out, the amount of just crazy stuff and negative feedback that's been associated with the game, even though it has such cool models and essentially a like new and simplified rule set, is probably going to affect Horus Heresy and just how well it succeeds over the next 3 years. And I know me personally, somebody that has always kind of like looked past Horus Heresy, always loved the lore and a lot of the models, but was fully ready to embrace the game, that Games Workshop has really dropped the ball on this one. So let me know what you think of the Saturnine Terminators coming in blocks of 4 when the squad sizes are 3 and 6. Let me know what you think of the Saturnine Dreadnought being $112 and then having a weapon sprue sold separately for $30. Do you think both of the weapon options should have been included in the Dreadnought box for that price? What do you think of the overall Saturnine box, the prices on it? Did your stuff show up damaged? Were you able to get a really good deal on the box set? What do you think of the new rules? Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And as always, special thanks to the Game Bunker for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products with code WHMS at checkout. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man. And I gotta say, I really like the Saturnine box. I'm not so sure about the rules yet, but overall, other than that, Games Workshop has really dropped the ball on this one. And I'm out of here.